Good morning, one and all. Present over here. This is Hira Gupta, Assistant Professor from Maths Department. Today, we are going to discuss on Unit 2nd. The name of Unit 2nd is Algebraic Structure. The topic on which we discuss today in this video is General Properties of Group. This is lecture number 3. Let's start our video. Outlines. Here are some outlines on which we discuss today. First is prerequisite of topic. Second one, real life example. Third one, proof that identity element in a group is unique. Fourth one, if the inverse of an element A in a group is A inverse. After that, we will discuss about uniqueness of theorem, reversible law of inverses in group, exercise, learning outcomes, and in the end, references. So, these are the outlines of this video, and we will discuss one by one. First one, prerequisite of topic. As we know about, this video is totally related to general properties of group. So, it is obvious you have a basic knowledge about group and group postulates. We can also say group axioms. So you have a basic knowledge about group axioms. In group axioms, 5 postulates are there. First is closure, second one associated, third one identity, fourth one inverse, and fifth one commutative. So you have a basic idea about group as well as group axioms. Apart from that, you have a basic knowledge about algebraic structure. And all these topics we have discussed in previous video. Let's start. First, I am going to discuss real life example where we use group theory. In physics, the relation of group with symmetries means that group theory play a huge role in the formation of physics. Next point, fundamental in modern physics is the representation theory of Lie groups. Lie groups like the Poincare groups, etc. are play fundamental role in physics. We can also use group theory in chemistry. In chemistry, it is used to describe symmetries of crystal and molecular structure. And the last is that group theory is the most powerful branch of mathematics. When it comes to quantum chemistry, spectroscopy, and condensed material matter physics. So here we have discussed real life example of group. Uniqueness of group. So first property is uniqueness of identity element. So this is the first property. Uniqueness of identity element. The statement is the identity element in a group is unique. You have to show the identity element in a group is unique. It is only one and one. Only one. Now let's prove Let E and E1 be two identity elements of a group G. Then we have supposed two elements E and E1 are identity elements. And in the end, we will show both E and E1 are same. It means that identity element is unique. For this, we have E into E1 is equals to E1. You know well, if we multiply identity element to any number, we get same number. Here, E is the identity element. He is the identity. If we multiply E into E1, we get E1. So in this equation, E is the identity. E1 is also identity. So second, E into E1 is equals to E1 is equals to E. Here, E1 is the identity. If we multiply E1 with E, we get E. So E1 is the identity. But we know E into E1, the element, is a unique element of G. So therefore, we have taken both conditions. E into E1 is equals to E and E into E1 is equals to E1. These two conditions implies that if we compare these two conditions, we get E equals to E1. It means that the identity element is unique. Hence, the identity is unique because we take two identities E and E1, but finally we have proved they are not different element, they are same element. So this is the uniqueness of identity element. Now come to next theorem, uniqueness of inverse. It is also same uniqueness of identity. The statement is the inverse of every element of a group is unique. It means that you have to show the inverse of every element which belongs to capital G having a unique inverse. Now come to its proof. Let A be an arbitrary element of a group G. So you have take an arbitrary element and E be the identity element. Here we take two inverse, B and C. B and C are the two inverses of A. It means that we have supposed that A are having two inverse, B as well as C. And we will have to prove B is equals to C. So for this, BA is equals to E is equals to AB. This comes because of fourth postulate, inverse. If B is the inverse of A, it means that B into A is equals to identity element, and we can also write A into B. So this condition holds. Similarly, C is also inverse of A. So this, if we multiply C into A, we get E is also equals to A into C. So this is the two condition we get. Now we have to show B into AC. We know that we write AC is equals to E. So we put E. And if we multiply identity element with an element, we get same element, B. So BAC, B into AC is equals to B. Also, B into A in bracket into C is equals to, we know that BA we replaced by E because we know that BA is equals to E. After multiplying E into C, we get C because E is the identity element. If we multiply identity element by any other element of a group G, we get C. We get same element. But B of AC is equals to BA into C. The composition of multiplication is associated in a group. We know that association in group. Therefore, it implies B is equals to C. They are not different. B and C are not different. They are equal. So it means that A are having the element A, which is belongs to G, having same inverse, one inverse, unique inverse. So therefore, the inverse of every element of G is unique. So this is the second theorem. Now, come to next theorem. The statement is, if the inverse of an element A in a group G is A inverse, then the inverse of A inverse is A. That is, the inverse of A inverse is equals to A. You have to show inverse of A inverse is equals to A. So this is the statement. Now comes to its proof. Let E be the identity element. Then, by the definition of inverse, we know that A is the element, and if we multiply A by its inverse, A inverse, we get E. This is the postulate fourth. So we get E, and this is applicable for all A belongs to capital G, which implies that now if we multiply both sides, inverse of A inverse, if we multiply this term both sides, then we get inverse of A inverse into A inverse A is equals to inverse of A inverse into E. Now after that, we know that A inverse A inverse A, we get E. Yes, after this, we get inverse of A inverse into A inverse into A is equals to A inverse is equals to E. The composition of G is associated and E is the identity element. Now this implies that A inverse is the element and it inverse is inverse of A inverse. So after multiplying these, we get E, identity element. Now A is remaining same. It's equals to inverse of A inverse into E. Now E into A, we get again A because E is the identity element, which is equals to inverse of A inverse. So if the inverse of an element A is minus A, then the inverse of is minus A is minus of minus A is equals to A. So finally we have proved inverse of minus inverse of A inverse is equals to A. So this is the theorem, hence proved. Now the next property is reversible law of inverse in a group. The statement is the inverse of the product of two elements of a group is the product of inverses taken in reverse order. It means that if you take two elements and do product of these two elements, then the inverse of these two elements is opened into a reverse order. We can also understood by this A into B inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. It opened into a reverse order. For all A comma B belongs to G. So you have to show AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. Suppose A and B are any elements of G. We have take two elements A and B from the set G, and A inverse and B inverse are respectively the inverse of A and B. Because G is a group, their inverse is also an element in G. So A inverse is the inverse of A and B inverse is the inverse of B. So we take two elements and their inverse. Then we know that if we multiply an element into its inverse, we get identity element. So we apply this. A inverse into A is equals to E, where E is the identity element and which is also equals to A into A inverse. So this is applicable for A, and similarly this is applicable for B also. So B inverse B is equals to E is equals to B into B inverse. We can write both types also, where E is the identity element. After that, you have to show A into B inverse A inverse is equals to E. So for this, we have take LHS A into B inverse A inverse. So you have to apply in this associated property. So for this, we write like AB into B inverse in one bracket into A inverse. We use here associated property in G. Now again A, if we multiply B into B inverse in one bracket, we are again using associated property into A inverse. We can also write like this because of associated property. We apply associated in G. Now here you can easily see B into B inverse is equals to identity element. B into B inverse is equals to E, because we know that if we multiply an element by its inverse, we get an identity element in G. So A into E into A inverse. Now again we know that A into E is also A. If we multiply a number A into its identity element, so we get same element. This is the third postulate. So A into E, we get A. So we put over here. Now A inverse is left. We write A inverse, and A into A inverse. Again we are using this. We get E. So we get A into B inverse A inverse is equals to E. This is the identity element. Similarly, B inverse into A inverse into AB. We can also prove this is equals to E. So for this, we have to apply associativity. So B inverse, we take outside from the bracket, and in the bracket, we take A inverse into AB. We are using associativity here. Now again, in the next step, we use again associativity. We take A inverse into A in one bracket into B. We know that A inverse into A is equals to E. E is the identity element. B is same and B inverse is also same. We replace A inverse into A is equals to E. Now we know that E into B, if we multiply B into identity element, we get same element B. Now B inverse and same process we have done. B inverse into B, we get E. We get E. E is the identity element. So finally we get B inverse into A inverse. AB is equals to E. Now from first and fourth we have what we have? AB into B inverse A inverse is equals to E, and this is also equals to B inverse A inverse AB. So both the condition we have proved in first equation and fourth equation. Therefore, by the definition of inverse, we have AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. If the group is commutative, then AB inverse is equals to A inverse B inverse, since B inverse A inverse is equals to A inverse B inverse. But in group G, we know that AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. So this is the reversible law. in G. So finally we get AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. Hence proved. Now, this is the exercise for you, and you have to do. Now, here are the learning outcomes. What we have learned from this video. We have learned so many concepts regarding uniqueness of identity element. We have also understood the concept of uniqueness of inverse and also deal with the reversible law in a group. So we have discussed lots of properties of group. Here are the references which I have used to make this video. This book is very helpful. This also based on a conceptual knowledge. So I must suggest you have to read these books by which you can get a better knowledge about discrete structure. And this is the last slide for my side. Thank you all of you for listening me. Keep watching videos. In the next video, we will discuss about subgroup and their theorems. Thank you. Keep watching.